Hey everyone, it's Denver Dylan, I'm back. We're in RiNo, let's go for a walk around the block. All right, welcome to RiNo, short for River North. It's an old neighborhood, but it's a new neighborhood. It actually is part of the old 5 Points neighborhood, Curtis Park. And in the early 2000s, a small group of artists came together to create what's now the RiNo neighborhood, which is short again for River North. It's bounded by I-70 to the north, I-25 to the west, basically Lawrence, Larimer on the eastbound side, and then Park Avenue to the south. RiNo's really what's interesting, it's where worlds collide, right? You've got the old, the new, the artists, and everything that come together to create this really unique artistic neighborhood right in the middle of Denver. All right, so the history of the neighborhood, as I was mentioning earlier, it's where worlds collide. Formerly known as the Curtis Park 5 Points neighborhood, it's actually one of Denver's oldest neighborhoods. So a day in RiNo. Okay, well, honestly, there's something for everyone here, and it really depends on what you're into. The art is going to be the biggest focus. So if you want to spend a day looking at the hundreds and hundreds of street murals that are created by world-renowned artists as well as local artists, you can definitely go solo, or there's different tour companies that are out there that can take you on a guided tour of all the different pieces of art, kind of like the ones that you see here. And I would start off, get your coffee, read up on who the different artists are, and take in one of the many restaurants that we have here, and we'll dive into more of what the restaurants are all about. All right, if you're undecided about where to go eat, look no further than the Denver Central Market, which is at the core of the RiNo neighborhood. It's right at the intersection of everything. And the Denver Central Market is really the catalyst that started the neighborhood. With over 11 different restaurateurs inside, you can take your pick from tacos to hamburgers, to coffee, to ice cream. They even have a fully stocked bar in there, so if you want more of a liquid lunch, you can do it. And the place is open from morning until night, and it's really a great place to come in and just take in what the neighborhood has turned into. See all walks of life, you see people driving by. It's a great place to enjoy a cup of coffee. If nothing else, you're not hungry, come have a drink. Now, you're probably wondering why you want to live in RiNo, and I think there's a lot of reasons, but I think you could boil it down to just the big three, right? One is location. It's right at the center of everything. You're right outside of downtown Denver. You have close access to all the major arterial roads as well as highways. And then I think the last part is diversity, and I mean that in every sense, from the restaurants to the food to the people to the type of housing. The neighborhood has a certain energy to it that I don't think you can find in very many neighborhoods here in Denver. Now, you're probably wondering what kind of homes you'll find in RiNo. Homes physically in the RiNo district, there's very few single-family homes. Most of it is primarily condos. However, if you're looking at the entire area like 5 Points, Curtis Park, here's where you'll find some of Denver's oldest homes, turn-of-the-century Victorians, Italianates. Prices starting for a lot of these homes, condos start in the mid-500s to low 600s, where the single-family homes will typically start off in the 700,000 to 800,000s. And for the first time ever, we're starting to see homes that are now exceeding over $1 million, which is, I think, goes to show you the power and the kind of economic force that's rolling into RiNo. What's interesting about the data for the RiNo neighborhood is that from Q1 2020 to Q1 2021, there's actually a slight decrease in overall property values in RiNo. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of inventory that's been added, and also because of the pandemic, there's been an increase in inventory, which is good for you. If you're out there struggling in this market, RiNo's a great place to look. You know, the vibe of RiNo is, I would say, energetic, it's diverse, it's a little bit of everything, honestly. You've got all the new transplants that are coming in, you have the old school East Side folk that live here, and you've got a whole mix of different incomes. Honestly, I would say it's the energy. The energy here is great, and don't be surprised if you find people with handlebar mustaches, man buns. That's kind of the vibe. Trying to find the best restaurant in RiNo is pretty tough, and I mean, I'm just trying to jog. There's so many to pick from, and I think that that's what RiNo does really good, is that the restaurants that are here, you can't go wrong with any of them. Whether you're looking for sushi, Italian, pizza, Mexican food, RiNo has probably some of the best food in town. It's very experimental, it's very nouveau, it's very forward-thinking food here in RiNo. But if you had to ask me what my favorite restaurant is in RiNo, I'm gonna go and say Barcelona. And the reason why is the food's really good, but I think the ambiance is even better. It's a great place to meet friends, crack open a bottle of wine, and taste all the different flavors. All right, I think when a lot of people ask me where the best bar is in RiNo, there's so many to pick from, but I think if you're looking for something that at its core, no frills, just get down and get into the spirit of the bar, is the Larimer Lounge. Look no further and you'll find some of the best rock music in town, grab a shot at the front bar, and you'll literally feel like you're right in the band with its low stage. You're right in the middle of all of the action. Now, no trip to RiNo is complete without your coffee fix, and the best coffee place is, you know what, I'm gonna shout out Blue Sparrow Coffee. You make a mean oat milk cappuccino, and I love it. If you're looking for a neighborhood with incredible walkability, art, culture, and an incredible nightlife, oh, and don't forget the restaurants, look no further than RiNo. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Walk Around the Block. Peace.